Welcome. This is TarHeel247, a UNC basketball podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, share the channel. Without further ado, I want to welcome in my guy, Deon Thompson, who was like my vet. He probably doesn't realize that, but
Right.
I watched him closely every day because he was kind of what, epitome of what I wanted to be as a Carolina player, man, champion. So what's up, man? Like, before we get to UNC, what you up to? How you doing?
What's
Talk to
going
me.
on? Yeah, man. It's good, man. Good to see you. Good to be here with you.
Yes, sir.
Currently in Chapel Hill now. This is kind of home base for me as I continue to pursue the professional career, preparing for the season 16 that's coming up. So I'm still at it professionally, and as I am getting older, kind of starting to prepare for that transition, the next phase of life. So got myself kind of in a few programs right now. Currently in the NBA coaching development program, which has been super dope. Just kind of being able to learn how to use the different NBA technology from Huddle and Fast Scout, Synergy Sports, and so that's been super cool to kind of start preparing for that, and also started grad school back at Carolina at Keenan Flagler. So in the process of getting my master's in business right now, just doing everything I can to make myself as well-rounded as possible. So when this basketball does stop dribbling, that transition for me will be as smooth as possible.
Cool. We were actually talking about it earlier. Like, at one point, all our moms and everybody was in. I think it was me, you, I think Marcus's mom
Marcus
was
was in
there,
there.
Wayne.
Yeah.
So, like, talk to about how that, being from California, how did that materialize?
Yeah.
And I'll add on after you.
Yeah. I obviously it's a family, right? And I think that's
Yeah.
the basis of the whole thing. And for my mom is here in the area now. She currently works for UNC Hospital. And for her to be here at one time and had all the other moms around was always a great thing for her to have that little community, right? And you guys are my brothers, and Marcus is someone I see all the time who is very close to me. And so when I think about the Carolina family, it's something that's real. And you see it just in your family around and the people that you surround yourself with and the people that you're with every day. So I take that Carolina family thing very serious, and I love it that it extends beyond just us and it really extends to our families as well.
For sure. My sister went to UNC. My youngest sister, my middle sister went to Duke. So my mom was like, I'm just gonna move up there. So she's back in Tampa. So all right, let's start from the beginning for people that don't know where are you from? Where do you hail from?
Yeah, straight out of Torrance, California. Mm-hmm. So for me, I came a long way to come to the University of North Carolina at that time. I mean, biggest reason was Coach Williams. I mean, I think if anybody has a pleasure to meet him, had a pleasure to talk with him, you understand why. And so for me to come across the country, that decision became really easy. And then you step on campus, right? And you really get immersed in the people here in the community, and you walk in that Smith Center and you see the banners up there in the rafters and the names and the banners and the championships, and it just resonated with me. And so that decision wasn't very hard. And then the idea of Southern hospitality was a real thing coming from California, where things can be, I want to make sure I use the right word, but things could be a little confrontational at times, you know what I mean? But being in North Carolina, I was able to find some really just good, genuine people, who will ask you how you're doing and really just want to know how you're really doing and really care. And so it was, at that time for me, it became an easy decision to come across the country and put on that Carolina blue.
You kind of started a little like Cali wave. I don't know if you take credit for that. Like, I know LD, the Ware twins also, like, did they reach out to you, or were you someone that kind of helped them, decide, hey, look, like, this is cool being far away from home, like it's family?
Yeah. I think the real one was Quentin Thomas. I think Q was here before me, straight out of Oakland, California, and he was here before me when I got here. He was a senior, and we had a really good year. Ended up going to the Elite Eight. Ended up losing to Georgetown that year. But Q, I think he kind of started it a little bit, and Coach Williams was on the wave of going out west. But then I just think it is hard. It's hard for guys to go that far away from home. I mean, when I came to Carolina, I was 17 years old, and I got here in August at 17, and then I turned 18 in September. But I think it is hard, though, when you come that far away from home and everything then it's almost like a little culture shock. But luckily for me, when I got here, the guys that were already here, from Bobby Frazier, Marcus, Tyler, Mike Cope, Danny Green, and then even the vets above that, like from Wes Miller, obviously Rayshon Terry, the guys who were my vets. They just kind of took me under their wings and just welcomed me with open arms. So for me, going that far away from home became really easy and kept my mind off of being away from home, because I had a good group of guys around me, and just kind of made it easier just to kind of really just be engaged and be here with those guys.
See, I was opposite. Like UCLA was one of my favorite schools, but I was too far. No, I was out there like, nah, I don't know if I can do UCLA. So I respect you. So how did Carolina kind of first come into recruiting you? You know, where did they first see you or show interest?
Man, dude, that was so long ago.
Yeah,
I
right.
got a dog of memory right now. I think back then the circuit, I can't even remember the name of it, but Vegas obviously was the big one back then, where everything was going down. And I do remember the game, specific player that they were actually there to watch, a different player that I believe might have been Coach Holiday at the time was there recruiting. And I kind of did my thing versus him, went to work, had a really good game. And from that day on, everything just kind of changed. And shout out to Coach Holiday, who was the first one to kind of put his eyes on me. And then Coach Williams to follow, Coach Rob. And so I think, I can't remember I want to say it was like maybe Big Time or something out in Vegas. One of those tournaments where it kind of really started.
Yeah, that's how it happened to me. I mean, I wasn't, they were looking at my teammate. And so, you know, I kind of stole his offer, though. He's all right, though. He'd be all right. So, what was your official, like, you know, what did you, who was there? Who hosted you? Because you bridged that championship gap, right? Like from the kind of older 05 guys to the 09. So what happened on that?
Yeah. So my visit at the time, the other guys I believe was Thaddeus Young, ended up going to Georgia Tech. Darrell Arthur, who ended up going to Kansas, who we ended up playing in the Final Four in 08. And I can't remember the other one, but our class was crazy stacked too at the time, obviously with Ty Lawson, Brandon Wright, Alex Stevenson, another California kid, Will Graves is there, and then Wayne Ellington. So our class was crazy. But the visit was super dope. Of course, Marcus Ginyard was my host, and you know he's definitely going to show you a good time around. And so the visit was awesome, man. I mean, from playing with the guys, going to the football game, hanging out on Franklin Street a little bit after, and doing those things. And so, but it was all just so smooth, man. Just like being around the guys, everything just felt right, and then the fit for me was good. I mean, the guy before me who I saw myself like was Sean May. I mean, obviously being a little bit oversized, we got good post work, good feet, good hands, great touch around the basket. I saw myself in Sean May, and shout out to Sean, who's like a big brother to me, and continuously to be kind of another guy who's kind of showed me a blueprint of how to do the things the right way. So shout out to Sean. But that was someone that I wanted to emulate my game around. And so being back in California and seeing them winning in 05, I was like, man, I want to be like him. I want to be like him, win a national championship, got the post work. And so that's kind of how that came about.
Yeah, like I when I was used to watch Carolina, like you was always the guy that like yo, he tough. Like, you know, just you know, he kind of popped off. Nobody really talked about you. So it's kind of good to know. So, you know, if you didn't go to UNC, or was there a school maybe that you might have chose other than Carolina?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, obviously at the time I took the visit to Kentucky. At the time was Tubby Smith was there. And I just knew he was kind of on the hot seat. He just was known, and he literally got fired right headed into that season. So that would have been a tough to go there, and your head coach gets fired, and the reason why you go there. So that was kind of one of the reasons why I didn't go there. Another one at the time was UConn. Obviously, they were Coach Jim Calhoun, tough coach, and someone that I have a lot of respect for and what he's doing. But UConn kind of had a lot of stuff going on with some guys stealing computers and different things going on. So that was one where Mom was like, I don't know if that's kind of like the right place for you at this time. Another one was UCLA, if I had the idea of staying home. Ben Hallen was obviously, they were on a really crazy run at that time. It was on a stretch of Final Fours. And if I was to stay close to home, I think it would have been UCLA, but they had some guys already there with James Keefe, I think was coming out of California in my class, in my position. And then Gonzaga was another one. I really love Mark Few. and what they were doing. And Ronnie Turioff was there, and he kind of was reaching out to me and really was kind of pushing me to go there. Anna Morrison was there at the time, and he was the man. You know, he was All-American, was going crazy. But Spokane was just a little bit too small. I felt like Torrance was bigger than Spokane, and so I kind of wanted something a little bit bigger. So those were kind of like the options I had at that time.
I when I was in LA training, I run the sand dunes and stuff behind Torrance High School. I was all up in there, so I like that area. So coming into class, top ranked class by far, right? Ty B Wright was in your class too, right?
Yeah, B Wright,
Wayne, Will, Alex. Yeah. So what was that like looking around? Because I had a similar situation where there was a lot of cats. Like I didn't know who was going to play. It was competitive. How was that?
Right. I think we needed that, man. I think it made you rise to the level, right? And for me, the option of going back home wasn't an option. You got to stay there and figure it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I think it was good because no one really shied away from the competition, and it made you raise your level of play, because if you wasn't ready to play, if you didn't come bring it in practice, well, guess what? There's another All-American sitting right here on the bench that's ready to go in. And so, obviously having the pleasure to play against Tyler Hansbrough every day, obviously brought that intensity, right? He might not have been the vocal leader, but he showed it with his work and how hard he worked every day. And that obviously raised the level of everyone else. But I think it was special to have that. I don't think today in NIL era that is now, I don't think that team that we had wouldn't be that team,
Same.
I mean, if you think about it, Danny Green, arguably, he didn't start to his senior year, right? And he was a McDonald's All-American coming out of high school, but to go to Carolina and not start to your senior year, that as a McDonald's All-American,
he's out of there.
He's out of there. Yeah. I think it's special to be able to say that we had that team that we had, and I don't know if you'll see another stacked team like that where you have like a whole wave of a whole nother starting five. There was times with Coach Williams, he'll start a five, and then those dudes ain't acting right. He'll sub up that whole five and throw out a whole nother five. So, yeah, I think it definitely made you raise your play and make sure you brought it every time you stepped on the court.
I concur. I mean, I think the competitiveness was made it so good. Them summer games and stuff. So do you have like an experience like when you got to campus and something happened, you're like, whoa, like I'm a Tar Heel, like this is a big deal around here. That's a long time ago. I know. I asked Marcus like, yo, so 20, 19 years ago. So
I know, bro. It's a long time ago. I think just the simple little things when you started this, you go in Suttons and people showing you love, or like just people just being around North Carolina. You could be somewhere an hour away from Chapel Hill and people just showing you love. I think obviously that freshman year when Mike pulled up to practice, and I think that was like one of those moments when he came around and would come and speak to us. And I think another one was just I was able to be there when Dean Smith was still there and walk in the hallway.
Yeah, that's dope.
Being able to see him, and then he'll kind of just say something small to you, right? But you just remember those interactions, and then you see him, and you're like in awe, like it's the president, when you see Coach Smith walking in the hallway. So I think those small interactions when you saw the Coach Smith come by and Mike stop by practice, I think those kind of moments make you realize how special this place is.
One of like the favorite segments for the people on the boards and the fans on the website is obviously, the summer games, right? HB talked about when Marv locked him up one day. He was in the room contemplating whether he was good enough. Ray talked about going against Vince. B. Haywood talked about going against Sheed. And Scott Williams even talked about, hey, look, George used to come in there and those poor guys on the other end. So were those games, was there a guy when you came in that you were just like in awe of or could do nothing with? Like I could do nothing with Big May. I'll never forget it. Yeah. When the Nets Big May, I couldn't do nothing with him.
Touch him.
So is there, you have experience like that?
Man, that's a good one. I'm trying to think back to that time. Obviously Sean was right around that time. Marv was another one, right? But I always wanted to play against those guys because I wanted to be like them, So every time they was around, it was like, I kind of just wanted to follow them out. I would hit them up, yo, what time you guys working out? And I was trying to show up and make sure I was there in the weight room with them and Jonas, or on the court jumping in their workouts. But I always loved when Shammond Williams was in the gym, bro. It just was like, obviously I always loved that he was there, bro, because he brought that intensity all the time, right? And was always making sure he brought that edge. And he was always at the end, and we were done, he would just sit down and just chop it up with you and just kind of just pour into you and just really just just spit game to you, bro. And so whenever Shimon was in the gym, it was always, the runs was about to be right if Shimon pulled up.
Sure, and I always kind of ask this question, like, do you think Coach Williams was watching from top? Did he get a report? Like, what's your theory or conspiracy behind Coach Williams and those pickup games and what he knew?
I think he knew it all, bro. Honestly, I think he did, and I think for one thing, I think with Coach Williams, I don't think he gets enough credit for is that, dude, we played so much. We would play all summer, like every day we playing Monday through Friday. It was open runs and pickup. And I think nowadays a lot of players focus on just the individual training, right? And the one-on-one sessions. But I think you need to play the fives. The playing fives, because it gets you in like real game actions, right? Where that cone ain't gonna move, right? That cone is there, so it's gonna let you go right, but that defender's not, right? So I think the playing the fives was really good for us, and the competing and being ready to play all the time. And so I think that's credit to Coach Williams, because I think he loved when we were in the gym playing fives all the time, and those runs were legendary.
Yeah, and I look back on my, my pro career, I always had tweaks and a calf, but like when I was at Carolina, it was none of the sorts. But I think it's because we, one, played so much, and two, practiced so hard. So I tell people all the time, I'm like, hey, we pushed ourselves so hard that the game was cliche. Everybody says, but the game was easy. So it's how were the practices to you different? Than you experienced, or just different to you even in your pro career? Like what were these Warrior Rims practices like?
Yeah, I think the running part, dog. I think that's probably the best shape I ever been in my life.
For sure.
To be able to run 12:33s and make your tough time, right? Like that was tough. Or it's March and we're still running winners and losers after practice and still running the 33. So I think that also allowed us to play at a speed that I don't think you can emulate, or we haven't seen in a really long time with those teams that are just breakneck pace every time that ball, even when the ball goes to the basket, we're getting it out and we're going. Luckily, we had Ty, who was one of the fastest guys in the basketball. But I think we were just so conditioned and we were strong and we were able just to impose our will on other teams, just because how we practiced, how we ran, and how we conditioned.
Look, people, I don't think Carolina gets a credit enough for development, right? Like, even like yourself, right? Like, for you, how much better you got. What kind of do you credit with that progression, right?
Yeah.
Coaches, the players, and a little mix of both. Because I think you improved every year.
Right.
And you was a boy, when I was a freshman.
Yeah, right. I think it was a mixture of everything, bro. From the work that we put in the weight room, like those summers when we were lifting with Big J, and we was in there just getting strong, getting our bodies right. And then from the pickup, playing all the time with the vets that were always back and around, and then just the practices, right? Every day, Coach Williams making sure that we were bringing it every day, that we were at a high level. So I think it was a mixture of everything, and then also just the willingness to wanting to be in the gym and wanting to get better, right? And I think that, like you said, like, it sucks that we don't have that luxury to see guys develop year after year anymore. Like, for you, example, like from your freshman year, from where our team was at, your freshman year and my senior was rough, bro. It was from me winning a national championship to ended up in the NIT, and the struggles you had as a freshman to where you came, and seeing that progress and how good and how special you were by the time you left as a junior. Like, we don't have that luxury of seeing that anymore. Tyler Zeller was another one, someone who really just developed year after year, got better and better. Now his jersey's in the rafters. Like, that's something I think that I hate that we don't get to see all the time with the players that come through Chapel Hills, that we're not able to see them grow and really, and even as a fan, to be able to grow with them and go through those rough times where things aren't so good, and to the high moments where we're hanging banners and guys are getting drafted and going on to the NBA. So to answer your question, I think it's a mixture of everything just coming together at the right time, and the work that you're willing to put in individually.
Yeah, I told Marcus this too. I'm like, you two guys were the guys that I looked up to, that I kind of watched from afar. Y'all probably don't even know it, but like, I was just so observant of how you guys practice, the energy you brought every day. We kind of stole all that and carried it on. So thank God you guys were there.
For sure.
Because we came in a little rough. I ain't gonna lie to you. So,
a little rough, a little bit.
And then I think one of the moments that I'll never forget, I don't even know if you remember this. We had lost a few games. We were we were bad.
Yeah, it was tough.
And you were just like, look, man, like everybody pull up to my house. Like we just gonna vibe at the crib, we're gonna hang out, and we're just gonna like look, and we need to relax.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
that night for me was so big because that was like one of my first nights really hanging out team and we just us building and bonding, and we had a great time. And the season necessarily didn't get better, but I think for me, I just learned a lot, and it taught me a lot, for the future. So I appreciate that. I haven't told you that story before, so
for sure.
You were a dope leader.
Yeah, man, appreciate that. And it was tough, man. It was tough for everybody that year, and I think in those tough moments, you do have to band together, right? Because that's all you got is each other, right? Even in those tough moments, and I think that tough season for you, I think it kind of fueled you, right? That feeling sucked, bro, to not be good and not be the Carolina that we were the year before. For me, for those past 3 years, going to that senior year, so to have that and go through that, I think it just kind of only made you better as you continue to go throughout your career at Carolina.
Yeah, I listen, after the season, I shed real tears. I shed tears, but like I shed real tears. I'm a freshman. I'm top 5. No more power 4. Like I'm like, woo, it's getting sketchy out here. So all right, also, if you like what you listen to, make sure you check out TarHeel247.com. We've got a ton of great hoops and football content on the site. Check it out. Tell all your Tar Heel friends too. That's TarHeel247.com. So moving on kind of into the season. Matter of fact, actually, before we get into that, tell us your journey, right? You changed your body while you were at Carolina.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if a lot of people know about that, but I think that was big as well. Can you talk about that before we kind of move on?
Yeah. I mean, obviously that was, playing at Carolina before Coach Williams, you're going to have to be in shape. Like there's no doubt about it, the way we were getting up and down the court. And so that was one of the things Coach Williams told me is that you need to attach yourself to the hip to Jonas Serration. And that's something that I kind of continue to do now. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm able to continue to play professionally this long is just because of the work that I kind of put into my body and kind of take pride in being able to be available. I think the availability is something that's big, right? To be able to stay healthy and to be able to show up and be there. But to be able to be on that court, you have to be in shape. And so that's something that I had to change the way I ate, the way I took care of my body. And again, shout out to Jonas. That's someone that I still rock with today, that I'm with every day, still Monday through Friday, that I continue to put the work in because I still believe he's the best in the business.
Yeah, me and Jonas had some battles, but listen, it was for the better. As I'm older, I'm like, that was the best thing that ever happened to me, to be honest. Sure. But it allowed me to have that pro discipline. So shout out to Jonas. I need to get Jonas on here. I'm thinking I'm gonna get Jonas on here for sure. I'm about to get him on there.
That's the one who got all the stories on every player, everywhere. Like, you see them all.
So was like there a player that you remember going up against, in college that may not have maybe went to the league or been special as a pro, but quiet as kept there nice. My guy was Wesley Johnson.
Dude, shout out to Wes Johnson.
I had to guard him my freshman. We played in the Garden.
Yeah, we played him in the Garden, right, bro?
We played him in the Garden. Coach set me down quick. I'll tell you that.
Trevor Booker, man. Trevor Booker is probably one of the strongest dudes you might have played against him when you were in the league. Like
I played him in college too.
Strong, bro. Yeah, that's right. He's my class, so it would have been your freshman year, but just strong and physical, athletic, undersized, but plays a lot bigger than that. So he was one dude that was just strong, physical dude in there that was always kind of tough to handle.
So you play at UNC 4 years. You're going to have a long professional career still going. By the way, you doubling up on me. Listen, I should have been up there with Jonas. My back is cooked. I can't play no more basketball. I can't. It's over with. So what were some of the things you appreciate about being a professional in a foreign country? And then we'll go on to what are some things maybe that you didn't like about being kind of overseas?
For me, I love to travel, man. So for me to be able to use the game, to be able to see the world has been nothing short of a blessing, bro, honestly. And be able to get paid to do it, it's been pretty cool. The different countries that I played in and to be able to just to kind of immerse myself in those cultures. I think it's coming from Torrance, California to North Carolina to all the different places around the world. I don't think I could have imagined that I've been to the places I've been and seen the things that I've seen. And then to be able to share it with people is always super cool. When you can share it with my wife that comes and be able to be there with me, or my mom, the first time she left the country was to come visit me in Slovenia. So like to be able to share it with the family makes it extremely special. And then also just the connections and the people that I met along the way has also been really cool to continue to network with people and build relationships with people that I can hit up people across anywhere around the world and kind of have a place that I can kind of call home and a place to sleep. And so I think that's been a really cool part of the journey.
And then what was something maybe, a negative kind of aspect, even, may not have been negative and just something that, hey, look, like this is the tough part about this now. It's pros and cons.
Yeah. I think just the holidays, right? You miss all the holidays and the Christmases and obviously Thanksgiving and the family graduations. And so you do miss out on those things in life, but I think basketball is such a short window. So the trade-off of that is I think it's worth it. I was just talking to someone the other day, like, this will be the first time that I'm actually home this part of the season. I haven't been in the Smith Center to watch the UNC basketball team play since senior night for myself. Yep. So it'd be something that I obviously missed out on, and the special moments seeing guys that have come through Chapel Hill to be able to watch them play in the Smith Center. So I'm looking forward to that I'm home this time of the year to be able to go in the Smith Center and watch a game live.
Yeah, this is my fourth Thanksgiving, like where I've been able to be with my family. It's my fourth. Yeah, and, like I'm counting them, like this is number 4. So it's real. And then it's crazy because I actually reached out to you when I was in Puerto Rico because we were playing at the same time in Puerto Rico. Yeah. And I did not have the experience that Deon just talking about. I was like, yo, they going to pay me? Like, what's going on? He's like, yo, look, it's going to come. Just wait. I said, I wish somebody would have told me because I didn't go to practice today. I'm like, so I appreciate that. And so how did you like being – you were in Ponce, right?
Yeah, in Ponce.
How'd you like that? You're like, talk to me.
I mean, obviously you kind of got to go in there with like your expectations here, you know what I mean? And luckily, like the people there were people I still talk to today, the GM there, and the head coach now I actually played with when I was there in Ponce. So
okay, that's dope.
Yeah, so my time there was really cool, man. Like we had a pretty good season, making the playoffs. There was a crazy shot that was like on ESPN that kind of knocked us out of the playoffs. Dude shot a shot from the other free throw line.
Yeah. They got a spot. Was that against Guaynabo? Where was that? Guaynabo?
Yeah, exactly, bro.
So they have a spot. I play for Guaynabo for the folks that don't know. I didn't want to name drop, but whatever. They got a spot they haven't marked on our court.
Right.
And it's
I never seen anything like that.
That's the spot.
Bro, it was crazy. It was like number 1 on ESPN and everything. But that year there was super cool, man. I mean, Puerto Rico is a cool place. It's the island life, though. You got the water there. It felt really cool there, and I still got good relationships with people there now. Shout out to Carlos Rivera, who's the head coach now. Brady Manick actually was on that team last year. This past season, Brady was there in Ponce, and they ended up making it to the finals. Ended up losing in the finals to Biomon. So shout out to Ponce, man.
That league actually go for it. That league's got some that league is good. Like there's some dudes when I was playing, I was like guards, some former NBA guys. So shout out to Puerto Rico. I had a good time. The situation I was in, I don't chase the money, folks. Let me just tell you that right now. I learned my lesson quickly. So back to UNC. Do you still keep up with the program? And if so, what are your expectations this year for this team?
Yeah. Obviously, like I said, I still train there. So Monday through Friday, I'm there at the Smith Center and being fortunate enough to watch a few practices and stuff. But I like this team. I mean, I think the biggest thing is the way the team is structured. And when you look at the roster, you see the size, right? And I think that's one thing. When you have size in basketball, it can cover up a lot of problems, especially defensively. Someone gets blown by on the perimeter, at least you're meeting size at the rim. Offensive rebounding. I think that's something that when you look back at those Roy Williams coach teams, we always let the nation in second chance points. And so when you have size and the willingness to crash the offensive rebound, I think that creates so many second chance points that even if on any given night, if shots aren't falling, if you're able just to get to the glass, I think that gives you so many other chances. So I obviously like the structure of the team, and I'm really excited to see Coach Davis put this team to work. Obviously, we were able to watch them at BYU last week, and I think I was excited just to watch them play and compete.
For sure.
And I think they did that, obviously, to be in the game. And I think the coaching staff drew up a great play at the end of the game to get a shot, not settling for a 3, going to the basket. Obviously, you would love to Steph finish that or get fouled. But I think it was a great play, and you love your senior with the ball in his hands going to the basket. And so I'm excited for this season to see these guys kind of develop throughout the season, right? I imagine from that first game against BYU, you saw all the turnovers, right? That's just that first game jitters.
Yeah.
And as those guys kind of get that out their system, things will continue to get better throughout the season.
Yeah, I think that's for me, when I watch and observe, I think that's the biggest thing is taking care of the ball. That's gonna be our Achilles heel this year.
Yeah.
I think they know it, so I think correcting that is something that is going to be talked about throughout the year. And hey, you take care of the ball, I think they win games. I think it's that simple.
For sure. Simple as that. And you saw the turnovers are just like just silly turnovers that are just like just the rhythm of the game, like playing against another team, and they're just like those kind of turnovers that are easy to clean up. So I think you hit it. You said it right. Hit it right on the head that it's going to be the turnovers and just taking care of the ball throughout the season.
So we kind of touched on the NIL. I always say my team, I think my junior year, we had 7 first rounders that got drafted in the first round, just from the younger guys to us. With the NIL, does the 09 team have a chance?
That team doesn't happen, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Like from Bobby Frazier, came out of high school, McDonald's All-American.
Right.
He tears his ACL in his sophomore year. Ty Lawson comes in as another McDonald's All-American, and then Bobby doesn't start again for the remainder of his career. Obviously, he was a big part of why we hung a banner, obviously. But if someone else is another school from his hometown in Chicago comes and wants to offer him a bag to come be a starter, why would you stay? You know what I mean? And so, I mean, you can go through that our whole team, our whole bench, and kind of break it down position by position and say, you just don't know if that guy is there, right? And your team as well. Like when the team that you guys had is just guys don't stay in today's and you hate to see that when you a highly recruited freshman comes in, and I think that's part of it. You kind of got to sit and you earn it. But now it's like, bro, I ain't playing, I'm out. And so I don't fault the players at all, though, man. It's not the players, it's the game that they're playing. And honestly, I'm pretty sure if we were in those positions and someone was throwing a bag at us, I'm pretty sure we have a chance to kind of take care of our families as well. I think we would probably do the same thing.
It was a perfect storm for me because I had to sit back. I didn't play as much. I was behind you, Easy, Z at the time. I wasn't playing much. I was a highly ranked recruit. But that helped me so much in my pro career because my first 4 years, until I got my extension, I was like 3rd on the depth chart.
Right.
And I just had to like work through that. Like and Carolina kind of helped me just be able to put my head down and say, look, you're gonna get an opportunity. You got to just put your head down and work. And so that doesn't happen these days. It just doesn't happen.
It doesn't.
When you see kids, start from a certain level of maybe not playing, especially the pro level now, there's not as much breakthrough. And I think that has to do with the college. You know what I mean? So
you need that adversity, man. That adversity is good, right? And it builds your character. It teaches you how to persevere through some things. So I think you need that. We all need that in life a little bit to see what you're really made of, and if you're able to break through, like you said.
For sure. And kind of finishing up, last couple of questions, man. What's the coolest experience you've had in your life because of basketball?
Man, dude, that's a tough one, bro. Wow. Obviously, just the different places that I've gone to. Just recently playing in Africa in the BAL, the NBA started.
How was that? Hold on, let's talk about that.
It was super dope. I mean, obviously, basketball is growing all over the world, man. And for the NBA to start this league there 5 years ago, and there's just so much talent in Africa. Obviously, the physical makeup of everyone is just a bunch of Wimbies walking around. It's just
for sure.
So much talent there. So I definitely want to shout out Africa and the whole continent and the talent that's there, but just giving people an opportunity there to showcase their skills and stuff. And so I was able to go there. We played in Rwanda, which was super dope. Our team played really well. I didn't stay with the team for the final part, the last 6 games. My team did go on to win the championship, which was really cool. But at the time that I was there, it was 2 former Tar Heels there with Rich LaGuardia. Was Rich a manager with you?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Rich was there, who works for the NBA league office now, and Dewey Ferris, who was doing some stuff in Rwanda. We both were there at the time. So to be able to play the games there, to connect with some Tar Heels, some former UNC family across all the way on the other side of the world, super dope. There was a time playing in Berlin, Germany, playing for Alba Berlin. Brandon Wright and Vince both were on the Dallas Mavericks at the time. So there's a cool picture I can send to you of us. We all took a picture together, but just connected with Carolina family on the other side of the world is always something that's super dope. But man, that's a really good question. I think another thing, something I'll end with this one, just something that basketball obviously took me to play in Israel. Played for Hapoel Jerusalem. Was able to win the first championship in Hapoel Jerusalem's history. But also away from that, I was able to get baptized in the Jordan River at that time. So that's something that basketball took me to that part of the world. But to be able to being a believer, but then be able to be in the Garden of Gethsemane, to go to Bethlehem, to stand in Mount Olives, that's something that basketball allowed me to do, to see that part of the world, and then being a believer and seeing those things. It's kind of, you read these things in the Bible, but to actually be there kind of just makes it so much real. So that's something that basketball has allowed me to do, and I'm super thankful for it.
Look, for the folks that don't know, Deon's Instagram is elite. I lived through him. I'm not gonna lie to you. I see the travel pics. I see the reels. Listen, if you need to figure like a preview of the world or where you want to go, just go to his page. Trust me.
I got some stuff for you.
So, last question. Name your all-time. I ask everyone this: all-time Tar Heel starting five and first man off the bench. I'm gonna give you one extra.
Oh man, this is so tough, though. That's a tough one. I mean, for me, I think like, I got to think, what era of basketball are we playing right now? Like, that's something I got to think about. But I'm just going to think all time at Carolina, right? Not NBA careers, just their time at
Carolina. Listen, Carolina, hey, if you had to put five on the court to go get you one.
Man. Obviously, for me, I'm going to start at the five because that's the easiest. I gotta put Tyler Hansbrough there. I think
so he's consistent. He's a consensus guy for everyone.
Yeah,
so
I don't think there's. I mean, if you look at his resume and what he did in college, I don't think there's anyone coming close to what he did over a span of 4 years. And so, and you look at that front row and those jerseys that hang up in the rafters, that 50 would never be worn again. So, I also have to get an honorable mention to Sean May. I think, like I said before, someone who I kind of looked up to and kind of modeled my game around and to be like when I read the reasons why I came to Carolina. So I had to put him there. This is where at the four, it gets tough for me. It's between, obviously, it gets tough, bro. It's a tough position, especially how basketball's played today. But my first instinct, I want to go with Rasheed. Obviously, just because he was.
It's not bad. That's not. No one's mad at that.
It was Rasheed, but I actually have to go with Antoine Jameson at the four. I'm gonna put Twan at the four. Obviously, another national player. I think if you have two national player of the years at the 5 and the 4, I think you're going to be all right to start off. At the 3, this is another tough one, obviously. At the 3, I'm probably going to put James Worthy. I'm gonna put size out there. I need size, versatility.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put Big Game James at the 3, which would be different. At the 2, of course, I'm gonna put Michael Jordan. We got to put Mike at the 2, and then the 1 gets tough, man.
It's tricky.
So tough.
It's tricky. It's tricky.
From you got Ty Lawson, obviously the speed that he played with. You got Raymond Felton. Obviously, another person who does not get enough credit is Kendall Marshall. I think you know firsthand. Like
Bob Cousy. Bob Cousy guy too.
The dude would the way he would kick the ball up the floor and set people up was crazy. And another one I'm gonna have to put in there because I got so many guys who you need to put him in the right spot and deliver the pass. I'm gonna throw Ed Cota in there. I think that's someone who was just a showman, who was just dropping dimes and setting people up. I don't know if I gave you a final answer at the point guard spot.
Look, pick one. I mean, no one's gonna be mad. I tell you,
can't.
I think Marcus picked Phil Ford. I'm like, Marcus, you never even saw him play.
I respected Phil Ford. I mean, that's another one, right? Like, but again, I never did see him play. But I'm gonna go Ty Lawson because I've seen it firsthand, bro. Like I've seen dudes running full speed sprinting, but this dude's dribbling on basketball going even faster. I've never seen somebody that fast with a basketball in their hand. So I'll go Ty. So I'm gonna go Ty, Mike, Big Game James, Antoine, and I'm gonna put Tyler at the 5. You said I get one more spot.
You get a 6-man.
6-man. 6-man. I need someone that can come in, that can do a little bit of everything. I'm gonna put Marvin Williams. I'm thinking he was the prototypical 6 man, right? And I
Yeah.
think we never seen anybody come off the bench.
If he stays another year, he's. I mean, he couldn't
Crazy,
stay.
right?
He was that good. I
Yeah,
mean,
then come off the bench and be the number one, the second pick in the draft, in a very stacked draft. I think that says a lot about that. And I think what better 6 man can you have than Marvin Williams?
For sure. Look, man, I appreciate you coming on. Hey,
Yeah, man.
I was from one. I was a freshman coming in. You were a guy that I looked up to, a guy that I watch and observe tremendously, from the weight room to the practices to how you carried yourself. So you instilled a lot in me. I haven't told you that. You don't know
man.
that, but I appreciate you. Want to give you your flowers, man.
Appreciate that, dude.
And thanks for watching on YouTube. For everyone listening, wherever you get your podcast, be sure to check out TarHeel247.com for the latest wall-to-wall coverage of Carolina athletics. See you next time.